Hi everyone! In this video, we are going to review TripleseatDirect reservations and how users can now utilize the large party reservation event style to provide more flexibility at their venues and accommodate a special demographic of their guests. The rise in popularity of large party reservations is a response to customers seeking a unique experience for a group of 10 to 20 in semi-private or shared spaces. Commonly, these are social events and smaller business dinners. Everyone does this just a little differently though. Some events have food and beverage minimums, sometimes a rental fee, a prefix menu, or a combination of charges. With now having large party reservations as an event style, we have you covered. TripleseatDirect users can enable this event style, configure its limitations and settings, create a specialized TripleseatDirect form with a personalized menu, so then the host is able to easily book their exact event date and time, choose their menu selections, and place a deposit seamlessly. Managing these larger sized on-premise dining parties now becomes easier and a new way to increase revenue at your venue. In order to enable the large party reservation event style at my venue, I need to be a user with settings access. Going into settings, I will first want to go to locations and then select edit details for the location I want to add this event style to. Like all other event styles, this can be set up per location. I will set a default setup and teardown time for my large party reservation as I have for on-premise events and full service catering, and then I will click update at the bottom of my page. If I have multiple locations that will need to use large party reservations, I will need to do this in each of my location's edit details pages. While still in my location settings, I will now want to click on edit room details for the location I just enabled large party reservations for. I will now see a column, allowed event style, that can configure which rooms are designated for either on-premise events, large party reservations, or both. This will impact which rooms will be available to select from on TripleseatDirect forums. When I'm creating an event or editing an event in TripleSeat, I will still see all available rooms in my drop-down menu regardless of what I select here. I will allow large party reservations in semi-private or shared spaces. My main dining room and patio are shared, so I will select both for these spaces. It's up to me if I accept a large party reservation, and I'll make sure to consider my other group reservations before accepting any. It's important to be mindful when accepting any reservations and to make sure to never overbook a space. If you need help with rooms, please reach out to our support team. Now that I've enabled using the large party event style at my venue, I want to make sure that I also correctly configure the settings for this event style for TripleseatDirect. Navigating back into settings, I will scroll down and click on the configuration page underneath TripleseatDirect settings. Just as I've set these general configurations before, I will be able to add event duration limits, lead time limits, billing details, and deposit amounts for my new large party reservation event style. As a reminder, if I am not my site's customer admin, I will not be able to edit the default settings for all locations. If I am a specific location's admin, I can find my location from the drop-down menu and choose to override the default settings on this page if I'm not doing so already. When I'm configuring the event duration limits, I can also choose not to display an end time for the on-premise, large party reservation, and full-service catering event styles if I have my minimum and maximum set to the same amount. For example, if I set my large party reservation event duration limit to 2 hours for both the minimum and maximum, and then select this button, my guests will only be able to select the start time of their event. The end time of the event will automatically default to the correct 2-hour end time once the event is submitted. I will not be able to do this if both the minimum and maximum are set to 0 or if they are set to different hours. Lead time limits have remained the same, so here I can just set the minimum and maximum days needed for TripleseatDirect events to be submitted. Billing details cannot be adjusted on the location level, so I will just want to make sure on the default page that my customer admin has appropriately set up the billing details for large party reservations, and has also included the room rental fee if that will be applied to this event style. And like my other event styles, I will be able to choose whether I want to require a deposit or for the guest to pay the full payment upon the booking. I want to remember to also click at the bottom of the page to save any changes that I make here. Once my configuration settings are updated, I can now go make sure my menus and forms are updated to apply to my large party reservation event style. I will need to go into any of my existing menus and select Large Party Reservation underneath Allowed Event Style, and confirm that my locations with Large Party Reservation enabled are checked off here too. I can create a unique menu designated for Large Party Reservations if I would like to as well, by only having that event style selected for the menu. Now going into my TripleseatDirect forms, I can choose to either create a new form for my Large Party Reservations, and I can also enable it on an existing form. A best practice would be to have a separate form for Large Party Reservations, so I can advertise booking direct for parties of 10 to 20 people on my website and still offer my direct form for my larger private events as well. I'm going to click Add New Form to begin building it. I will name my form, select the Large Party Reservation event style, and then select my locations. Another best practice here is to expand my location to limit which rooms I want this form to be for. But if I set this up in my room details as shown earlier, that will also prevent my guests from selecting a room that isn't designated for large party reservations, even if I have it selected on the form. I can also select a new guest-facing icon and create a guest-facing label if I refer to this event style as something different at my venue. Keep in mind, however, that these will only display if I have more than one event style enabled on this form. Once I click Save, I will now be redirected to create the rest of my form. Because I selected Large Party Reservation as an event style for this form, I will see the section Large Party Reservation options appear with two new fields. The first is the toggle to skip a room selection. If I have this toggled on, guests will not be able to select a room for their event, and the event will appear on my dashboard with the unassigned room. It will then be my responsibility to place them in a room before I accept this event. The next field option is a maximum guest count allowed. I can leave this blank, but it is recommended to put in the maximum number of people that my venue considers to fall within the large party reservation event style. If my guest tries to enter more than the maximum, they will receive an error message that informs them of the maximum number of guests allowed. The minimum guest count on TripleseatDirect forms also still applies per form. Scrolling down, I will want to make sure that I select the menus that I applied to the large party reservation event style earlier. I can also still choose to skip menu selections in the form minimum section. In this section, I will be able to make sure that my minimum guest count is set and that I have a booking minimum set for large party reservations here. I can also enable a gratuity selector for this event style below. If you have any additional questions on creating TripleseatDirect forms, please watch our video that goes through the detailed steps of creating a form. Once everything on my form is set, I will click Update and I will now be able to view the live page and also access the setup codes to put the link to this form on my website so guests can now begin booking their large party reservations. Going back into my Tripleseat dashboard, I can see under my new leads directly when I have a large party reservation, as this event style can also be added to my standard lead forms and when I am directly creating a lead or event in Tripleseat. Scrolling down to new TripleseatDirect events, I will also see a new large party request that came through as unassigned. This relates to the toggle of skipping room selections. Because I have that enabled on my form, the event will automatically be entered as unassigned for a room. Depending on my event status rules, I may or may not be able to accept this event when it is unassigned to a room. If my event status rules are set up for unassigned rooms in the definite status, I will be able to accept this event since all TripleseatDirect events become definite upon acceptance. If I only have unassigned rooms set up for the prospect or tentative status, then I will be unable to accept the event until I edit it and assign it to a room. When dealing with event status rules, Please make sure you are the right person to be changing these. If you have questions about event status rules, please reach out to our support team. With Large Party Reservations as an event style, I will now be able to see it in the drop-down menu on my event details page. All of my saved rooms for this location will appear on this event regardless of how I configure them in my room details. So I want to make sure that I am careful when selecting a room for this event. Once I assign a room to this TripleseatDirect event inquiry and save the changes, then I will be able to accept it. I am also able to filter my leads, events, tasks, and calendar by this event style. I can go into any of these tabs and click on the filters on the right-hand side to only show my large party reservations. In addition to this, I am also able to report on large party reservations in any of the in-app reporting that event styles appear on, including my event reports, my TripleseatDirect reports, lead details reports, and task reports. Like customizing any other report, all I need to do is click Customize, and from there, I will be able to include large party reservations in my reporting. Thanks for watching. If you have more questions about event styles, please watch our Event Styles video on Tripleseat University. If you are interested in learning more about TripleseatDirect, you can access our Tripleseat University course, which goes fully in depth about the capabilities of booking direct and the different features TripleseatDirect offers. If you have any other questions, please reach out to our support team at support@tripleseat.com or by clicking on the Help Question button at the top right corner of any page in Tripleseat.